Hello everyone, my name is Ramesh Karki and today I will be presenting on Labor Management Systems or LMS for the class MIS 653 Supply Chain Information Systems. What is Labor Management Systems? Labor Management System is a supply chain execution software system that plans, manages, and reports on labor activities. It's a software that takes employees' activity data and reports productivity levels on a group of employees or individual employees. LMS also helps organizations optimize workforce productivity, and it does this by finding out how and where the workforce labor dollars are being spent, and it figures out how to optimize the workforce labor dollars. LMS is mainly used in warehouses or labor-intensive work environments or businesses. This is the labor management systems model from the top left corner. It helps companies save money by increasing the productivity of each employee, which allows them to get more done with fewer employees. So it helps save the company in labor costs. LMS also captures a lot of data such as the time and effort used by an employee to perform each task and how it affects each processes. LMS also eliminates supervisor biasness because it provides actual numbers or data on how an individual employee is performing, and it's not just based on the supervisor's opinion. LMS also helps in letting the supervisor know who the best employees are and which employees need to be further trained or coached. One of the benefits of LMS is that it improves the workforce productivity by maximizing the productivity of each employee and by identifying productivity gaps, especially for those workers whose efforts involves multiple steps to complete a task. It also improves on productivity by streamlining operations and processes. Another benefit of LMS is that it helps reduce labor costs and save processing and response times, and it also reduces unproductive times. Number 3 on the benefits of LMS is workforce visibility. It does this by providing real-time data to better manage and monitor the workforce, and by enabling tracking and monitoring of each employee and the tasks that they complete. Another benefit is that it helps managers and supervisors make better decisions because they have real-time data and they can identify key trends earlier, which allows them to plan and react accordingly. And lastly, another benefit of LMS is that it objectively measures the performance of each warehouse employee, and it can help identify underperforming workers or underperforming shifts. Challenges of LMS. I wasn't able to find too many challenges, but some of them are as follows. Because labor management systems require every employee to be monitored and tracked, not all the employees will embrace this micromanaging or the job accountability. Another challenge or limitation is that the effectiveness of the system may not be immediate, we might not see the result of it right away. It could take some time to see how the system affects the organization, whether it's positive or negative. Another challenge of LMS is that typically warehouse workers or laborers are part of unions, and unions might not like LMS because they might see it as dehumanizing, since employees seem like they're being controlled or managed by computers or devices. Lastly, employees may not go along with the implementation of LMS because it strays away from their normal work culture. So managers and executives would have to communicate with the workforce laborers even before the system is installed, so that the whole workforce is not against it for the system to be effective. So what is the status of labor management systems today? Labor cost is almost always the highest expense item in a warehouse or a distribution center's budget. It can account up to 20%. And effective implementation of LMS has been known to increase productivity by 15 to 25%, and it helps save operating costs by up to 15%. It also has a quick return on investment. On average, it's within 12 to 24 months. But even with all of these data and benefits, companies still opt to not implement LMS, but they're still implementing warehouse management systems and transportation management systems, even though they are more costly and complex. Some businesses are reluctant to invest in labor management systems because they don't have a large enough distribution center and they have very few employees. That's a valid reason, but a lot of the businesses have outdated or exaggerated perceptions, which I'll be talking on the next slides. One of the outdated perceptions of labor management systems is that it's seen as an expensive system to implement. This is not exactly correct, because these days there are plenty of lower priced LMS softwares that will fit businesses according to their financial needs. Another outdated perception is that it requires too much time and effort to collect the day-to-day data on employee tasks that's required by the LMS system. This is not necessarily true either, since companies already have a lot of data for if they have the warehouse management system and the transportation management system. They can integrate the labor management system into the warehouse management system's data, and so you wouldn't have to, a lot of the data would already be there. This would save time. Thirdly, the company will not have much benefit from labor management system because they already do a good job on measuring workforce performance. This is not true either, because even companies that do a good job on measuring workforce workforce performance can gain from LMS because LMS helps in identifying employees who could use more training and identify ways to minimize the employees' unproductive times. And lastly, another outdated perception is that employees won't like having LMS. Initially, employees may not like to be monitored and measured, but with effective communication and education on the labor management system and its benefits, the employees will see the benefits of it. The labor management system, in terms of score model activities, deals primarily with managing performance of the warehouse. The process of measuring the warehouse performance against standards and to develop and implement a course of action to achieve the target performance levels. First example I have for labor management system being used at a company is at Brooks Sports. Brooks Sports is headquartered near Seattle, Washington, and they design and market high performance men's and women's running shoes, apparels, and accessories. The company operates a 140,000 square feet distribution center. In 2003, they had 35 full-time employees and 3 to 4 part-time employees on a daily basis working in the distribution center. And by 2008, they needed 15 to 20 part-time employees on a daily basis on top of the 35 full-time employees. So in April 2008, they decided to hire IMS to implement a labor management system. IMS took a multivariable approach to setting the labor standards for the LMS, and the LMS went live 6 months later in November. The LMS improved their productivity by 25 to 30%. They decreased their number of part-time employees from 15 to 20 to just 1 to 2 per day, and they received payback on their investment on LMS within 2 months of the system going live. Second example of LMS used at a company is at Taco Bell. Taco Bell is an American fast food chain based out of Irvine, California. It does 1.5 billion transactions a year in 6,500 locations worldwide. Their main customers are 18 to 24-year-old males who are just looking for extremely cheap and fast food. The reason they developed a labor management system is to better match their employee availability with the demand. They figured out that the 3-hour lunch period generated approximately 52% of their daily sales. And within that 3 hour, 15 to 20% of the sales was done in an hour. Since implementing the labor management system in 1993, the company saved $40 million within 3 years by 1996 in labor costs. They also cut their scheduling time from 4 hours to 1 hour, which helped them gain $13 million from productivity improvements within that same 3-year period. Thank you for listening to my presentation on labor management systems. I look forward to reading your comments and critiques on D2L.